Welcome back to Digits. You're looking at a chart of RIM. That's a chart over the last year, and you see the stock is down. The stock is down today too, almost at 2%. Investors are bracing for the company to report earnings, and they're expecting a penny a share loss. We got Will Connors of the Wall Street Journal in Toronto joining us now. Will, I know you spend a lot of your time looking at RIM. Is the mood up there just getting grimmer and grimmer?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's been grim for a while, so I don't know if expectations are necessarily any worse.
Okay,
People have been expecting bad results for a long time.
So they're expecting a penny a share loss, and obviously investors will be looking at that quite closely. You've also written a piece about how RIM made so many missteps to get itself in the mess that it's in. Can you take us through that? It starts at the executive suite. What went on there?
Well, first of all, there were two CEOs, and when things were going well and BlackBerrys were selling like hotcakes, the dual CEO structure didn't bother many people. But as sales started to dwindle and competition heated up with the iPhone, that dual CEO structure didn't work out as well. And eventually both CEOs were in offices on opposite ends of the RIM campus and were working on very different projects independently of each other.
So why did that persist for so long with those two CEOs? It's something we'd commented on, or certainly I commented on Digits many times, that, you know, it's like a hydra, a two-headed dragon. I mean, you needed to chop one of the heads off.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, but things, didn't look so grim until relatively recently, a couple, probably 2 years ago or so. And there have been some investors who've been urging them to change that model for a long time, but as we say in the story, they were slow to adapt to a whole number of things, and one of them was changing the CEO structure.
Okay. Now, the other thing was they had a complete blind confidence in their basic BlackBerry product, which was, the first real smartphone of any sort. Why was that?
Well, because it was their baby, it was their invention, and really broke ground in the smartphone world, and they were they were in denial about how powerful the iPhone and Google Android devices would be. They thought that customers would come around to, a product with a good keyboard and good security. They thought games and good internet browsing and apps were passing fads.
Now they have a new CEO now, Thorsten Heinz. Is there confidence in him big inside the company and outside the company?
Well, people are pleased with a few of the things he's done. He's trimming costs. He has the company focused on these next line of phones that are coming out later this year. But most people think it's no matter what he does, it will be too little too late. So they're hoping that he will do something more drastic, like break the company up or seek buyers.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that the stock is now has the company valued where it was approximately 1 decade ago. I mean, that's and a lot of that was bull market. I mean, it's just quite staggering how much it's come down. He's got to do something. Is there a lot of pressure for him to just fix this as fast as is humanly possible?
Yes, but the problem is that he's taking over a company that was very disorganized, that was working on many disparate projects at the same time. And, there are how many different BlackBerry models? At least 9. So he has to try to kind of hone the company's focus down to producing one good product and doing it on time, which the company has always also had a lot of trouble doing.
Yeah, and that's interesting because that completely contrasts with Apple, where they basically have one phone at a time, although they upgrade it. I thought this was interesting. They got one of their investors asking, and this is back to the sort of the failures, do I really need to read my email in color? Well, I guess on the iPhone you can, and personally I kind of like that. I mean, did you think that was them go back to the sort of the movies, who wants to hear the actors talk?
Right. That was kind of the genesis of their the tone deafness to what the market was shifting towards. And then from then, that was 10 years ago, and then from then on it's only been one more misstep after another.